This is Tar Heel Talk, an in-depth look at the issues and people making news in North Carolina. Here's your host, Sonia Williams.
The Family Resource Center South Atlantic is committed to improving the well-being of children and families through a variety of programs, from free tax preparation to parenting training. And joining me now to tell us more about their fatherhood program is Vernita Griffith, Program Director for Day to Day Dads, and Robert Chadwick, who is a success coach for the program. Welcome to Tar Heel Talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Now, the Family Resource Center really works to provide parents with the tools that they need to become self-sufficient and ultimately better parents. Give us an overview of the center and its mission.
Well, we work with families, all families, to help them acquire the skills to become socially and economically self-sufficient. And so we do that through a number of programs under the Family Resource Center South Atlantic.
Okay. And you're working with the Day to Day Dads program. Tell us about that program and how it works.
Okay, so it's a free program for fathers and father figures and actually their families. And so we work with fathers in a with an evidence-based curriculum where we teach them to have the skills to work and raise their children and get along with mom, and then also become economically and socially self-sufficient by helping them with employment and other resources.
And Robert, you are a success coach
Yes.
with this program. What exactly does that mean?
I kind of equate it to sports, like a coach coaching a basketball team. We kind of like coach dads. We try to make dads better fathers by helping them remove their barriers, different things, child support, housing, transportation, things of that nature. We pretty much try to help them to become better fathers.
Okay. What are some of the issues? I know that this is a comprehensive program. What are some of the issues that you work to help fathers address?
Employment, definitely. Employment and housing, that's really big. We also serve an incarcerated population as well. So when it's time for those guys to come out, a lot of times they have, nowhere to go or no jobs. So we have the task of sending them to resources that kind of help them get back on their feet.
Okay. As you're working with these, your clients, you're meeting with them on a weekly basis, is that right?
Yes.
And so you have a curriculum set. Give us an idea of what that 11 to 12 week program would look like.
So they meet either weekly or twice a week for 12 sessions, 2 hours, and then an extra 30 minutes because we offer a meal. So we offer these workshops day, afternoon, and evening in Wake, Edgecombe, and Durham County. Durham County. And so they'll cover topics like getting along with mom. What are some of the other topics?
Men's health, communication,
Health.
discipline. Discipline is a big one.
Right. Grief and loss.
Yes.
Some of those are the topics for 12 weeks. And during those 12 weeks, the men get to kind of form a bond, and it becomes a really uplifting time for them to come together and encourage each other. And so along with that, we try to eliminate some of the barriers to them participating. So we offer transportation.
Excellent.
So if they take the bus, we give them bus passes. If they drive, we give them gas cards. And then we've been known to send Uber for them to get them to the classes. So we feed them, that's a barrier buster, and then we offer those other things. But we also offer a cash incentive. So every other time that they attend a workshop, they get a cash incentive for being there.
Wow, so there's no excuse not to be able to participate in this program.
None at all.
That's correct. And then, of course, we also offer the success coaching, and not only for the dads, but for their family members as well. We also have an employment specialist on staff, not only for the dad, but for their family as well. So if they need jobs, if they're unemployed or underemployed, then we help the dad and the family.
When you look at some of the issues that you're seeing families dealing with and that this program is helping them work through, what are some of the major concerns or barriers when it comes to strengthening that family unit?
You want to take that?
I mean, I
You
can.
take that.
Well, a lot of times, the families are broken. And they're broken in the sense of maybe the father has not necessarily been in the home. So in order to try to bring them back, you got to kind of go back to square one to kind of put all the pieces together. And the way that we do that is through the curriculum. Through that 12 weeks, we try to share with these dads the importance of the family, because that's the nucleus of the growth of your kids. So we try to bring it all together. But that's one of the main barriers that we face, the father being broken, the family is broken.
Now, who is eligible to participate in the program? Can someone just walk in off the street and say, hey, I want to sign me up for this, or do you take referrals? How does that work?
We do both. Okay. So they can call us, they can fill out the intake form online, they can come into the office. We can take the intake form over the telephone. So as long as they contact us, then they fill out that intake form and someone will contact them and get them in the program. And anybody is eligible. So you don't have to live in those counties to participate. Okay. You can live anywhere in the United States and participate in the program.
And it's a free program.
Absolutely free.
Wow. And people can go to your website and find out more information. I believe the intake form is on the website as well. So they just go to the Family Resource Center website, and that is FS. What is it? Okay, you tell it, because it's your website, not mine. What's the website?
It's frcsa.org.
Okay. And they can call 919-834-9300 if they want more information about that as well. Why are programs like this so very important? I'm going to ask you, Robert, because you are a success coach. I can imagine that you have seen several success stories throughout your career. Talk a little bit about the impact that this program is making.
It's good when you can see a dad at the beginning of the program of the 12 weeks, and then as the weeks go on, you watch his growth, and you watch him change, and you watch him kind of become in a situation where times it's tough when he first got there, but now he's happy. I mean, he's ready to go get his family. He's ready to do all the right things in the sense of a father. So that's pretty much what I enjoy the most. And me being a father myself, I'm passionate about what I do. So I try to go the extra mile to make sure that these dads are going to do what they said they're going to do when they first come to our program.
Right. And it's important to have that support system in place to help them navigate through the parenting process, because it's hard. It's hard.
Yes, it is.
And so having that support certainly makes a difference. So when you look at all the progress that's been made over the years with the dads to dads, or the day-to-day dads, I tell you, okay. When you look at that progress that's been made, what are you most satisfied about and most proud of with this program?
Well, we're in the second half of the second year of a 5-year program. And so from the beginning to now, I think the fathers are just being able to connect more with their children, be more active. And not only that, because we don't get like bad dads. We get some very good dads. And they are there to encourage some of the other dads that may need a little bit of help. And so it's great that the program is for everybody. And so what I like is that after the workshop is over, these guys still keep in touch. And they still encourage each other, and they still feel good about the progress that they've made. And so I think that's big for us, is just to have, just kind of grow happy families.
Right. Absolutely, very important. We thank you both so much for taking the time to share your work with us, and thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Up next, a major event to empower fathers throughout the state. Details on the 2017 Fatherhood Conference when Tar Heel Talk continues. Today's This show focuses on the Family Resource Center and the many programs and services they provide to help strengthen the lives of children and families throughout the state. And joining me now is Derek Bird. He was co-chair for the 2017 North Carolina Fatherhood Conference. Derek is also the program director for the Capital Area Reentry Program. Derek, welcome to Tar Heel Talk.
Thank you. Yes.
Now, the Fatherhood Conference, this year's conference is just a few weeks away. It's taking place on Saturday, June 10th. Give us the details of this event.
Yes, 38 days away. This is the 5th annual conference. We have been doing the conference now, and we have continually been building on strengthening the different activities, because we have attracted so many different men to come to the conference, and we really are very interested in wanting to make sure that we have a sustainable conference throughout the next several years. It's very important to us to make sure that men have an opportunity to come someplace where they can be empowered, where they can be valued, where they can get some answers, and celebrate being a dad. So we have the opportunity this year to have Common, who is an Academy Award winner and actor and rapper. And we're also very fortunate to have Matthew Knowles, who's one of our celebrity presenters, who of course is the father of Beyonce and Solange. He's not bringing them with him, but he wrote a book called The DNA of an Achiever, and so he's going to be talking about, recognizing, those gifts inside of, that you see with your children, and taking those opportunities to really nurture those gifts. We have a fantastic lineup of workshops. We have this year we're doing something new with the legal clinic, where we're having attorneys from all different aspects of the legal system to come and be able to talk about different things that men tend to have barriers with. We have a real men rap session that is really a closed session for women that may be in attendance, and they really talk about whatever they want to talk about. We talk about the pressures of racism on fatherhood. We talk about fathers and daughters. We have a lot of different workshops that really cater to the needs of the 500 plus men that that attend the workshops at the conference every year. And this conference is for fathers and father figures? This conference is for fathers, father figures, uncles, brothers, whoever's a parenting male. We do have women who do come, and they usually are the ones who go back and encourage their husbands or their uncles or their dads or whoever to participate, because it is an opportunity for men to be able to come together and network and be in an environment that is just totally just really for them, and really just talks to their needs. So. And Common is going to be the keynote speaker, so people will get to hear from a celebrity in that regard, the entire group. Yes, he's a keynote speaker for the luncheon. We're not sure what he's going to do. We always give the keynote speaker the opportunity to decide how or what they want to address. Common does have a daughter who's in Howard, so he's a father himself. He also has a dad, so he may go that route. He may decide to do something else. He was just previously here this past weekend in DPEC, so he may decide to, do a little free flowing and rap. I mean, we don't know. That's the surprise of the whole thing. So how can people find out more information and register for the conference? All right, so you can go to the conference website, which is www.frcfatherhoodconference.org, and you will see the lineup of all the workshops, and it will be a link to Eventbrite, and it will take you to the site to register. Okay, and again, this is going to be on Saturday, June 10th at the Sheraton Imperial Hotel and Conference Center in RTP. Lots of space there. People, if they have questions, they can call your office, 919-834-9300, and certainly find out more information. But I can imagine it is going to be a wonderful event, just with all of the celebrities that you have coming, and then all of the kind of local celebrities that you'll have speaking as well. Yes. Yes, definitely, definitely. Yes, so it's a great lineup. We're really looking forward to it this year, and we're anticipating that we will go above and beyond the 500 or more that we constantly have each year. So we're looking forward to it.
And you are also the program director for the Capital Area Reentry Program, where you are helping fathers who are transitioning out of prison. Talk a little bit about that program and how you're helping fathers in that way.
Yes, so this is a new initiative that we have just taken on. The Capital Area Reentry Council has kind of been in place here in Wake County for a couple of years now, and it's an initiative that the North Carolina Department of Public Safety is looking to have reentry councils that basically serve as a conduit or a collaborative to really put in place services that really helps those who are being released from correctional facilities or are justice involved, and to create a network of services for these individuals. One of the things that we're very interested in wanting to make sure that we change the mindset of what is an injustice involved or a former offender looks like. You know, I think people have a lot of stereotypes and a lot of assumptions about who these individuals are. But these individuals have a lot of barriers that they basically have to overcome in order to be successfully transitioned back into the community, back to their family. So we want to create a continuum of services that is geared specifically for them that will help them to do that. And educate the community as to who these individuals are.
Right.
And so we want to really look at how we change the mindset of who really are these individuals. And it's not just men, even though primarily they are involved in the criminal justice system, but it's women as well, and how that impacts families. And so that's how we really saw this as a really good fit for the Family Resource Center, because we are about empowering families. And so we really want folks to really take a look at how we look at these individuals and what are we doing to provide and assuring they have access to all of the things that we are privileged to have. And that this is not about charity. That this is, you know, because even though it takes a village to raise a child, it also takes a village to raise a criminal. So we really have to think about how do we contribute to the issue, even though there are bad behaviors and bad decisions, but also what are we doing to ensure that they have access to all of the things that we are very privileged to have.
Absolutely. And our time is about up, but I want to remind people that the Fatherhood Conference is coming up on June 10th, and that's a Saturday, and they can go to frcfatherhoodconference.org to register and find out more information.
Yes.
But Derek Bird, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be back with more Tar Heel Talk after these messages. Welcome back to Tar Heel Talk. I'm Sonia Williams. We're talking today about the Family Resource Center South Atlantic. This organization is committed to improving the well-being of children and families through a variety of programs, from free tax preparation to parenting training. And joining me now to tell us more about some of their other programs is Vanessa Hickman. She is the program director for Safe Spaces and Choices for Children. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Now, May is Foster Care Awareness Month. Perfect time to talk about your program, Choices for Children.
Choices for Children is a contract we have with Wake County Human Services to assist them in recruiting foster families. And we also have a coalition group of a body of people that are interested in the well-being of children that are in the foster care system. And they do a wealth of things, from school supplies, drives, to planning things for Christmas and Thanksgiving for needy families. The coalition make up groups such as businesses and Wake County Human Services staff, and foster parents and preachers and pastors, and just all persons or businesses, walks of life come together. We meet monthly to talk about ways we can improve foster care and help the children in foster care.
I can imagine that the need is great. I saw a story in the news recently that there are 698 children in foster care
Correct.
in Wake County alone,
Just in
and
Wake
that there
County.
is a need for more foster care
Absolutely,
families.
absolutely. And it's interesting that you mentioned that. I saw just recently myself that an increase in foster care nationally. The number is now up to 400,000 kids in our United States that are in foster care. And in North Carolina, there's roughly 9,000 kids that are in the system currently. So yes, there is a need for foster parents.
So with Choices for Children, what type of support are you providing for those foster families? Are you helping to train them and get them through the foster to become
certified? So we try to like a
certified?
triage. We gather the foster parents. I'll have a meeting. I'll go out and recruit. I attend events. I give out literature. I meet people one-on-one, try to bring them in and clear them. So once I present them to Wake County, all we need to do now is get them in and try to get them into training, take away some of the paperwork, and help the recruiter and the agencies. If we screen them and get them ready, and then we can plug them into a training class and hopefully expedite and speed up the service. And we also try to identify families where children are coming from. So if kids are coming into foster care in the South, we try to find families there. If kids are coming into the system out of the North, we try to identify families there to prevent the huge disruption that takes place when kids come into the system.
Right. Now, we know that there is the need. How do you, I guess, identify a family that would be a good foster family for a child? What are some of the criteria that you're looking for?
Well, the basic criteria is that you would need to be at least 21, financially stable, have adequate sleeping space in your home, be able to attend the training and the MAP training that's required. It's parenting training that the state requires that foster parents attend. You have to like kids. You have to want to.
That'd be kind of important.
You have to want to work with kids and partner with the agency, and you have to do some shared parenting. Be willing to work with that parent, the biological parent.
Okay.
Wake County is a stickler with that. Vanessa, you identify families. We need to have families that recognize and understand that they will have to share parenting. They will have to work with their parents, and also understand that foster care is designed to be temporary and that reunification is the primary goal of foster care.
Okay. That's a very important point, and I think something that families need to know, that the biological parent will be involved in that process as well.
It is important that they recognize that we would help equip and prepare them for the meeting, when they're meeting with the birth parent. Oftentimes you hear people shy away from that or have some apprehensions, but we work with families around that. They are their children. They've made some mistakes. We're going to help them work through them, and hopefully be able to bring this family back together and make have an intact family.
How can people find out more information about Choices for Children or any of the other services that are offered by the Family Resource Center?
The Family Resource Center of frcsa.org will be the website, and I believe Choices frcsa.org also. Is the website. And they can always call Vanessa Hickman at 919-714-1952. And I'll be happy to help navigate them through this process.
As we highlight Foster Care Awareness Month, what are some of the things that you want families watching to consider and keep in mind, be mindful of this month and really all year long?
Foster Care Awareness Month is designed to bring attention to the crisis, and it's critical. A huge number of children that are in the foster care system, 75% of these children are children of color. So we want to recognize that these are kids that also need homes.
Absolutely.
And need to be connected. And we have, and with Foster Care Awareness, recognize that you have foster parents that have taken in children that are not their own and are loving and parenting these children. And then we're asking them to give the kids back. That's an awful lot.
You want to restore the family.
Absolutely.
Okay. Vanessa Hickman, thank you so much for the work you're doing in our community, and thank you for sharing that work with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it for this week's Tar Heel Talk. To comment on this or other episodes of the show, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, or send an email to tarheeltalk@fox50.com. I'm Sonia Williams. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.